Out of the battle over TikTok is headed to the Supreme Court. The justices agreed to hear the social media app's challenge to a law that could ban it in the U.S. starting next month. It's sparking outrage online. Chief Legal Analyst Dan Abrams here to break down the case. Dan, good morning. This is kind of a complicated case. Congress has ordered ByteDance, the Chinese company, to sell TikTok. ByteDance is challenging the law. So who's got the better argument? Who's likely to prevail?
So the government probably has the stronger argument going into this. The argument from ByteDance or TikTok is this is a First Amendment issue, right? They're stopping us from engaging in free speech. The government's saying this isn't about speech. This is about regulating a foreign government who is gathering data on Americans. And remember that as a practical matter, foreign individuals aren't allowed to own broadcast licenses, for example, in this country already. And so their position is this really isn't significantly different than that. It just depends on how you look at the case. And remember, there's also the TikTok users also filed a separate lawsuit. Also part of this is being heard.
Okay, so the court will hear the case, 9 days before the deadline to sell. They've chosen not to pause the law. So what do you read into that? And what about the TikTok users? What if the ban does go into effect?
Yeah, it seems pretty clear the court's moving quickly. They've expedited this. I'd expect something from them in the relatively near future. TikTok users' accounts are not going to get zapped, right? They're not going to just go away. TikTok's still going to be there. The question is going to be who can see it, who can use it, how can they use it? Those are the sorts of questions.
And we know that Donald Trump met with the TikTok CEO this week at Mar-a-Lago. He said he had the warm spot now for TikTok. Is there anything he can do with this out of his hands?
So January 19th, this goes into effect. He takes office January 20th. But he still could have a big impact. Number one, he could tell his attorney general, don't enforce this at all. So that could be some level of reassurance. He could also seek to try and get Congress to repeal it. He could also try and delay it. So he has some options here if he decides to be on TikTok's side.
Did he want to ban it at one point?
He did, correct. In his first administration, by executive order, tried to ban it. Seems he's changed his position a bit.
All right, Dan, thank you so much for that.